Welcome to the portal. I'm Mr. Osborne. Let's see what's going on this week. I bet there's some stuff going on. I bet there is. Let's see if there is. Hey, yeah, we've got something on March 3rd with the elementary and middle school live program in Pittsburgh. You arrive at 9:20. You can do some cyber work with your teachers. They can help you out with your work. And then after lunch, we got Middle School Connect and Got Science. Two great things to do. And then you'll be picked up at 2 p.m., but make sure you register at PALCS School. Then they also have a Middle School Connect and Got Sci in Westchester. I'm calling it Got Sci. I think it's the new hip way to say it. That's the same day, March 3rd, but it's only 12 to 2, so make sure you show up at noon. There's a game day for middle school. We'll be playing on game systems and board games, so I assume you'll be playing like Parcheesi and also Atari. No, maybe some newer things. So that's going on for the middle schoolers, and then the elementary students are doing Got Science, Got Sci, as I like to say, with special guest science tellers doing some cool science demos. Let's answer some questions. Audrey in 6th grade asks, what is your favorite episode of The Portal? Now, Audrey, you're asking a Doctor Who fan his favorite episode of The Portal when there's one in which I left in a TARDIS. Where'd the TARDIS go, by the way? I haven't seen that in years. And it was only a year ago that we did that, so I don't know where it went. Please find the TARDIS, especially because there is an episode coming up a year from now that might actually top the Civil War episode. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. Hayden in 7th grade asks, why are there 2 mugs on your desk? I don't see 2 mugs. No, I'm just kidding. There are 2 mugs because there are often 2 people sitting at the desk. And we don't want to drink out of the same mug. That would be unsanitary. Okay. Carter in 6th grade asks, Mr. Osborne, do you still have the official Portal pencil from the behind the scenes episode? Well, Carter, no, I don't. I have 9 official Portal pencils. Woo! Woo! I've made a terrible error. Can someone clean this up, please? Noelle in 6th grade asks, how come when I search for the past Portal episodes in the lobby on PALCS School, the only one that shows up is the one from that week? It's a good question, Noelle. The easiest way to find past episodes is actually to go to YouTube and do a search. But if you're on a school computer, you might have to go to Clean Video Search for Portal PALCS. That's P-O-R. Is it at the bottom of the screen right now? I don't have to spell it? Okay, good. Evie in 2nd grade asks, why do you let people on the show? Well, Evie, if I didn't let people on the show, it would be more like this. Speaking of letting people on the show, my guest this week is Mr. Park. Please welcome him. Hello, Mr. Park.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
We've been trying to get you on for like 10 years.
I've been fighting it a little.
Yeah, well, the show's only been on for 3 years, but
Yeah.
in the early stages when we were developing it, I was like, our first guest should be Mr. Park.
Well, and due to time travel, it will be. I just haven't.
Yeah, we're just going to go back and
Right.
start over. That'll be great. Speaking of time,
Yes.
how long have you been at PALCS now?
It's been a little over a decade.
A decade.
Yeah.
A decade of experience for you
Yeah.
to share with us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What do you teach here?
I teach social studies.
Social studies. What any particular topics within social studies? Grade levels or?
I teach both middle school and high school. I teach a course called Liberty and Democracy for our middle school students, which is a lot of American history mostly. And then I teach economics and something called Socratic Seminar, as well as European history at the high school level.
Do you wear a toga for Socratic Seminar?
Only on off days,
Okay.
yeah, when I'm not at school.
Oh, at home you do?
Yeah,
Okay,
at
while you're
home.
preparing
I'm frequently in a toga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
a
yeah,
bathrobe,
it's a
right?
shame you didn't bring it with you.
Well, okay.
So you got a lot of these different classes. What kind of activities do you do in your classes that you really like? What do you really enjoy?
Well, I like it all, but I especially like getting kids talking to each other. So we do a lot of discussion. That's sort of the core of the Socratic Seminar.
Right.
But also in other courses we do a lot. And the last few years I've started to do a lot of formal debates where we'll have a big debate and a big build-up to it with students doing research. And then when they come in, they have to dress up and look really nice, actually, like you do on just any day. But for them, it's a big step to put
I'm
on
always
that
ready
bow
for a
tie.
debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun because then you really know that you have to make your case and persuade others. So that's been a lot of fun.
So yeah, I see the kids. They're often dressing up for your debates a lot, and which is great because they're not just coming in their jeans and T-shirt like every other day.
Right.
Which is great. Maybe in the future you could be a little more specific in what they wear.
Yeah.
You could ask to maybe a bow tie,
Yeah.
and a nice blazer of some sort, or.
I draw the line at the corduroy, but the rest of your ensemble would work. I
Okay,
think.
so you're not into the corduroy.
Well,
It's
that's
no
just me.
corduroy.
Well, I mean, don't take it
Corduroy,
personally.
I'm gonna just put an X through that.
Okay.
That's fine.
I mean, think about it. That's all.
Maybe
I'm
they
saying.
could grow beards too. Some of them. Some of them could.
Yes,
If
yes.
they worked a little harder, maybe they could.
Yes.
Okay. So you're not just a PALCS teacher, though. You've also had a unique experience of being a PALCS parent. Is that true?
That is true. I had two different of my children
Yeah.
attend PALCS, and in fact, my son Julius graduated from University Scholars last year.
Yeah. What was that like, being a parent and a teacher at the same time?
A different experience. Actually, Julius was in my class, and that was always interesting, but ultimately very enjoyable to be able to connect with him that way. But I was also really gratified to see the way the program prepared him for college. He's now at Drexel University and is experiencing some real boost in his math courses just from the preparation that he had. He came out of high school with more math than even a lot of other students who are interested in math might have. So it's been a really good thing for him.
So he's been really well prepared for
Absolutely.
college. That's a parent testimonial right there.
That's right.
That's great. That's wonderful. It's time for 3 questions.
Oh my.
Who's your favorite dictator?
Wow. Well, there's so many to choose from.
Yeah.
And the 20th century gave us a bumper crop.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go
Yeah,
back
that was
a
a
little
good year.
bit. It was.
Century.
It was a good century. Yeah. I'm going to go back before that. And actually, I'm going to pull out the Bourbon monarchy of France.
Oh.
And everybody goes for Louis XIV, but actually, I didn't really like him as much as Louis XVI. Because Louis XVI was actually an absolute monarch in a time period where you could no longer pull it off. And so it turned out that it just didn't work anymore. And he didn't have the sort of personality that his predecessor had, and he was sort of a thoughtful, intelligent person who had a hard time making decisions. And it led to a revolution.
Oh,
But
right.
he's a very sort of sympathetic person. He's someone you can actually like who actually happened to also be a dictator. So if that's what you're looking for.
He's a very likable dictator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think that series really hit its stride with the 16th Louis. I think you're right.
It did.
The early
It did.
stage is not so great.
It did.
If you could visit any particular time period in history, if you could go back in time, where would it be?
Well, that's a hard one to choose. I actually would love to go back to 1950s Britain. Now, there's a personal reason for that. My father actually immigrated to the United States from Britain, and so I always feel this, when I see movies like Shadowlands, for example, the one about C.S. Lewis, I always feel this interesting connection to the time period and the place, just because I think I'm subconsciously thinking about my dad. But also it's just a fascinating time in terms of trying to recover from this war, trying to try to build a new society. And very sort of on the cusp of the Beatles and all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, there were a lot of people walking around in, bow ties and corduroy blazers. So that plus the weather makes it sort of a mysterious and enigmatic time.
I think I'm going to take that trip with you if you ever get the time machine built. Let me know.
All right.
I'm dressed and ready to go. Last question: Coke or Pepsi?
They're the same thing. Now I know that there's a lot of people who would have a problem with this, but we talk about this in my economics class. This is basically a hoax that's been perpetrated by two massive corporations who want you to think that somehow in life one of the major decisions you need to make is Coke or Pepsi. They're essentially the same product, two different brands. And somehow, if they get us into this sort of stupor where we believe what they're selling us, then they draw us in to buy more product. In the end, they are one thing.
Yeah.
Pepsi Coke or something like that.
I think I've heard of this. There's a term in English class that I heard was called binary opposition.
Yes.
And it's like it's one or the other.
That's right.
So remember that, kids out there. The next time your parents say, "Do you want this or do you want this?" You say, "Stop forcing me with this binary opposition to choose between only two things." There are an infinite number of choices.
There are indeed.
You could drink water.
Well, that might be a good idea.
It would be a good idea.
That would
drink
be.
more water.
That's right.
So we have a game we're going to play now. Which actually, could you do me a favor and help me out? Could you just pick up that mug for me?
Can I just before we play the game?
Yeah.
What is all this stuff? Do you guys ever clean this place up? Like there's little cubes all over the floor and all over the. I don't mean to be rude. I mean,
yeah, no, I understand the confusion. It's just a thing we do, and you know what? Frankly, we're just gonna get that out of the way, and we need the space right now.
Okay.
Don't worry about how it got there. It's gone.
Okay.
And now what we have is Scattergories.
All right.
We're playing Teacher Scattergories. Have you ever played before?
I have played the board game, yeah.
Well, it's like the board game, but without the board. We're not going to use the board,
Okay.
So it's just a game. How we play is you've got your list here, I've got my list here. We have a list of different things, and we have to come up with examples for each of those things using the same letter to start with. So, for example, on this list it says things found under the table. So if the letter were C, I would say cube, because there's a cube under the table.
Okay.
And then if we come up with the same thing, we don't get any points for it. If we each come up with different things, we get points for it, but we got to fill out our list as best we can. Okay? So we're going to flip the list over, and our letter is P. Go. Oops. Okay. I didn't get everything on this, so we'll have to see. That's okay, because you can still win with a partial credit here. Partial, P. Okay. Number one is things that go well with chocolate. I couldn't come up with a P for that. There must be something.
Peanuts.
Peanuts. That's very good. That's 1 point for you. I'm going to put a point in your column.
All right. Thank you.
The things in a mystery novel. I said perpetrator.
That's good. I said pistol.
Those are both good. I'm gonna take a point. You're gonna take a point there.
That's good.
3 websites.
I couldn't think of a single website that started with P. I could not believe.
Really?
With all the many websites.
You couldn't
that
think
are
of a
out there.
single website.
Well, PALCS.
PALCS.org.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could have gone with that.
Well, okay, give me the point then.
Well, you didn't go with it. It's not written down.
It's inherent. It's implicit.
Well,
we're right here. We're at PALCS.
You know, I'm going to say I get that point. So.
How about a half point?
I'm going to half point. We're going to round that down, though.
Oh, okay. That's a zero.
This is zero.
That's a zero.
Number 4, loud things. My youngest daughter's name starts with a P, so I should have written that down, but I didn't. So I got nothing. What have you got?
Pistol.
Pistol again.
Yeah.
That's true. It is very loud. I'm going to give you the point on that one.
I used pistol for 7 of these categories.
Really?
No, I
Some of
didn't.
it would work for that.
I didn't.
Also for the things you eat with a spoon?
No, I didn't.
What did you get for that one?
Peaches.
Peaches.
I always eat peaches with a spoon
You know,
because
I'm
they're
gonna give
soft
that to
enough
you.
you can sort of cut through them with the edge of the spoon.
Yeah.
It's a sort
like
of forked,
canned peaches.
It's in that gray sort of
I'm gonna give it to you.
liminal zone.
I went with pudding.
Oh well, that's a classic.
I think that's a good one.
No one's gonna argue with that.
Famous sayings. This ought to be your cup of tea.
Could
but
not do it.
Couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
I don't know what's something. It has to start with like people. People are what is a famous saying? A penny earned. No, does A count? I don't know. I guess we got nothing on that one. Okay. Underground things. I had poles. Are there poles underground? Part of the pole is underground.
I'm pretty sure that
Most of that's above ground.
definition
A
of
pole is that it's underground. All right, I won't take that one.
be a rod or something.
What have you got for that?
Pistol. No, it's not true. I put peanuts again.
Oh, again, peanuts.
Because they're ground
underground.
nuts,
Yeah,
they're
that's true. Number 8, things in the Wild West.
Pecos Bill.
Oh, that's good. I said partners.
Partners?
Yeah, like not like
Partners?
not like ancient partners. Like giddy up, get along, partner. Like how you doing today?
Yeah,
Howdy, partner.
let's go roping doggies.
Number 9, things in an airport. You went with?
People.
Definitely.
Lots of people.
I went with planes.
Okay.
Planes in an airport.
Yeah, okay, but aren't they, it's a little more out of the airport, right? You go to the airport and then you leave the airport to get on the...
We don't leave the airport.
Well, if the plane is in the airport, you've got a huge problem, right? It's
That's
crashed
true.
through that
It's if
giant
it's in
window on the
actual
side.
airport. But I tend to include the runway as part of the airport. Otherwise, like who owns the runway? Who owns the sky, really?
Wow. I didn't ever realize categories could be so deep.
Yeah, philosophical.
That's
Another
good.
P word.
There you go.
Okay, words with double letters.
Piddle. Piddle.
That
as
works.
in piddled along.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I went with pepper.
Okay, that works.
Pepper. As in peppered along.
Peppered along, that's right.
11, found in New York City. Plants. There's got to be plants somewhere in New York City, right?
Plants. Yeah,
It's a little generic.
That was on the edge, but you know, I think you get the point. I'm going to get the point for the PALCS.org. So I went with parades.
Oh, did I give you the point?
No, you
No,
give
I
me a
didn't.
0.
Oh,
You
that's right.
rounded
Okay.
it down.
Okay, that's right. I forgot.
No, I'm not bitter, but
You
I
went with
went
parades.
with parades because
That's a
when you
good
think
one.
of New York, you think of big parades.
Yeah.
Macy's parade and all
Okay.
of that. Yeah.
And things in fairy tales.
Hocus pocus. No.
Yeah,
that's,
no, if
no.
Pocus started
No,
the
if it
Pocus
was
Pocus,
right.
that would work.
That doesn't work.
I went with plain plots. They're very plain, the plots of fairy tales. They're just sort of,
You're going to try to get a double on that?
No, does he get a double for 2?
I don't think that deserves a double, but no, I think you should take 2.
I should take 2
Plain
for
plots.
that?
Well, that was very clever.
That could ruin the whole thing here. Let's see where we go. So we're not taking Hocus Pocus. I'm
well,
sorry.
I would say the half on that plus
The half,
well,
but they're
maybe
both
not.
rounded down.
Okay.
So,
yeah, rounded
okay, so
down,
that gives me, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wow. I'd say
You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. It's a tie game. Very nice. I think that's a
excellent
good
work.
one.
Yes, that's
well,
right.
thanks for coming on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Really appreciate having you. And thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and whatever other social media is out there that we're not aware of, please let us know about it. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.